All right, Robbie, who do we have on the show today?
We got Alex Hermanson. What's your actual last name? I don't even know.
You hit that on the head, but you guys both say Herms, like Herms runs.
Yeah.
You had the S. There's no S.
It's Herm runs.
Herm runs.
Yeah.
No S.
I like Herm's Run. I think you should change your Instagram handle.
Sounds like a designer.
They won't let me.
Hermes.
So what happened recently, I tried to change it because it's different on TikTok. And then they were like, we'll have to take away your verification stuff. And I was like, okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, because I worked that into a contract with a company. I was like, can you get me verified on Instagram?
Oh.
And that's how I got it done.
Wait a second. So like we don't even bother with the thing now because it doesn't matter because you can buy it.
Right. Yeah, I don't pay for it.
Yeah.
They just did it. I just send an email with my ID and they got it done.
Interesting.
See, and that's the thing. Like for the longest time, but Believe in the Run, I did all that. Like, hey, verifies. And it's not like we have a tiny following on Instagram.
No, not at all.
I'm like, why can't we get verification? And then when it became you could buy verification, I was like, well, I don't need it anymore.
Well, now it just looks dumb. Like,
Right.
Well, you do wonder. It's like, did they buy that or did they earn
have
it?
500 followers and they're following 2,000 people, I think they bought it.
Yeah.
Like that's like, and like I didn't request it because I was like, you know, I need this or something.
Verification.
Yeah, I had one person create a fake account like with Herm Runs, and I was like,
Wait,
okay,
really?
Well, yeah.
Oh wait, so what's it on TikTok?
It's Herm Runs, but no period. There's a period on Instagram.
Okay. Wait,
That was like that joke that lady said. How do you? What's a 6.9? It's a great thing ruined by a period.
Yeah, it's true.
probably got to cut that one out.
I don't know.
Carl.
It was. I think it was. It was one of the famous actresses who did the joke. She's like
Sounds like Marilyn
Black
Monroe.
Widow. I think it was.
Oh, it was Jennifer Lawrence.
No, it was Jennifer Lawrence.
It was Jennifer
yeah.
Lawrence. I actually remember this now.
Keep it.
Why don't we just
it can stay in.
why don't we keep it and we just make this the most raunchy Believe in the Run?
I think we should. I mean, we were just talking before we got into this room. We started talking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we went all the way from Antifa to storming the Capitol.
it basically became a Reddit thread or 4chan thread in real life.
4chan thread in
Nah,
real life.
we didn't go 4chan.
Yeah, we didn't quite pass that barrier.
I don't
It
even
was
know.
8chan.
I don't-
kept it
yeah,
at, like,
what does the
1chan.
chan stand for?
I
have
don't
no
even know.
idea.
Is it channels?
I don't get too
No.
deep into the
Okay.
dark recesses of the internet. So,
So
just to save my own mental
Let's go back
health.
to the blue check real quick here.
Yeah.
Like, so now, like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like sometimes things get ruined.
Uh-huh.
And the blue
That got
check
ruined.
was something cool because I remembered if somebody commented or liked and I saw that blue check, I would go look at their profile and be like, who is this person? Why do they have a blue
you
check?
think-
Right.
Now I see it and I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, you can also tell now because Instagram separates your notifications into priority and regular. So like if it's like a real blue check, you usually get the priority notification as opposed to like the regular one. So like that's the only thing I check anymore is really like the priority ones because like I can't deal with everything else.
So what
Not
company
to sound
got you
too
the
stuck
check?
up. The company?
Yeah.
Shmaria Shmai.
Are
that
they
a real-
all?
is that a real
It's a
thing?
camping store for Hasidic Jews.
Yeah.
I don't think that falls into that category.
So for no one who knows, or maybe people who don't know who you are, maybe give a little bit of background on what's how you got into running and how you kind of I don't know how we came to know you, I guess.
How did you guys?
I
Actually,
know
how
how
did we
I know how I got to know him.
Well, I came to know him through you, so that would be
Okay.
Well,
So we had the summer grit party.
right.
And this guy came with an infectious, jolly personality that I was like, I love this guy. And I think he knew Kafuzi
Yeah,
or something.
Mike and I
there.
had been talking for a bit.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they were running together. And I just, I was like, looking at him, I was like, huh. And then he posted something about the run on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this is kind of funny. I kind of like this. So I just kind of started diving into his gram feed because I don't really do TikTok.
Yeah, that's fine.
Started diving in. And I was like, I like this guy.
yeah.
And so I started following him. And then there was another, I think I just reached out to you and
You
your
slid
DMs.
into my DMs.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
You said, let's-
Without a priority.
All you said was, let's collab sometime.
That sounds about right.
Or no. You said, I like the vibe.
I said, I like the
That's
vibe.
what got me. And I was
We
like,
should collab sometime.
I was like, fucking hey, Thomas, like this is the real deal.
Because you only started your social media journey, even your running journey, not like less than a year and a half ago.
Yeah, running I've been doing for less than a year and a half. Social media I haven't been doing for even a year.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Because how many TikTok followers do you have, and how many Instagram?
30,000 on each, something about that. Like I think it's just about
On
like a
each.
shade a shade higher on Instagram now.
At what point do brands start reaching out to you?
5,000 I got my first like reach out to on TikTok. It was a small like I guess they do like men's health or men's like soap and stuff. And that was my first time. I was like, yeah, send me anything you want.
Dude, that was me in Body Glide.
Yeah. Similar type of vibe. And I'm just like, oh yeah, send it right away. And like, then like they started flowing in after that. And at the same time, I went from 0 to let's say 20,000 on TikTok within the span of 2 months. So like that was a huge growth, huge jump. I wasn't even on Instagram yet. So I was posting over there predominantly, and it recently within like the last 3 months, TikTok has been the same exact number for 3 months. It's
really
the most frustrating thing.
I mean, and are you basically following the same formula that you've done on TikTok the whole time?
Yeah, I've never changed anything. Like
But okay, so we were talking earlier, which would be the podcast that came out before this one. Mm-hmm. The other night I was drinking a little bit, and I made a comment about how I don't want to get ready with anyone, and I don't want to go with them on their tour.
And I was like, damn, I don't do get readies with me, but the other one I do.
And then I thought about it, and honestly, the feedback I got was amazing from the post. But the thing about it is, I think that what I don't like is when people take a formula, and I think what I do like about your content and why I like your vibe is you to me, you're a personality that happens to be running. Mm-hmm. So like when I'm on, yes, you're talking about running, you're talking about that stuff. But what I like and what I think you really dig into well, and I hope you continue to dig into well, is you're I don't want to say a comedian, but it's not like you go out and I'm just like, hey, mile 1, 9-minute mile 2, you're giving me like, okay, I'm going to talk about some stuff today, and
you're like real personality is coming through in the videos, where I feel like a lot, we were talking about this
formula,
authenticity. It seems like we're getting you, whereas I think a lot of content is like content to create this image or whatever.
Right. I mean, I think the number one goal of this page was just to like go on runs and share my thoughts. Like it's literally just me, whatever comes into my brain during a run, I'll just record it. It happens to all go together in a story.
Well, but that happens to be that you have a personality.
There's that. Yeah, you have to have a little bit of personality to make it.
And everybody's like, be yourself on the web. And
some people are like, I don't want you to be yourself. Yourself can't hold a conversation in real life.
We're being too nice to people.
It is true. I mean, I'll probably get in trouble for this, but like there's some people that make really garbage content that do really well. Like, it's just not.
Okay, give us your top 5.
I actually have thought about doing this. Like, because, they say no publicity is bad. Like, bad publicity. No. But, like, the thing is, I think
the rap game in the 80s and 90s was all about creating beef. Yeah.
I mean, do you want to talk about the Rick Rubin book one more time on the podcast?
I love it.
I actually have listened to it. It's really good.
Okay.
Did you find that it was good for running, though? I couldn't run with it.
I listen. So I have like an hour commute with my boys sometimes. Mm-hmm. Well, every 2 days. So it's 2 hours in the car a week. Mm-hmm. So I can get like.
You can get through it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same thing like in the car, but I tried listening to it on a run actually during the ultra marathon last week.
Oh,
wow. This is mind numbing. I can't.
Oh, that'd be. Yeah, I feel like that would be difficult.
Yeah, I feel like I need something else.
You know who Eckhart Tolle? What's his name?
No, you don't even need to figure it out. I have no clue.
Eckhart Tolle?
Yeah, he does this whole thing on like existence and like your mental, like living in the exact moment is the only place to live kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was doing a 20-mile run. I tried to listen. I was like, it blew my mind. I couldn't do it. I can't, honestly, I don't even like listening to anything because my mind when I'm running drifts. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So to try to follow a story or even, I think that's why podcasts can work because you can float in and out of a conversation because they'll say something that'll snap you back in. Like I'll listen to Smartless or whatever.
But if there's a podcast you're trying to take in information from.
Like if it was like how to take better photography and I'd be like, f-stop what?
I mean, not to pump your guys' tires, but like your podcast is a good one to turn on when you're going on like a Friday run.
I'll take the glow up.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you're just listening to some people just chat, it's not about running. Meanwhile, there's some other podcasts where it's like, oh, I really need to focus on this. I need to really listen in because I care. And not that I don't care about your guys' podcast, but it's good to just
no, but it's nothing that's that important that you have to pay attention to.
Right.
And if you miss a little bit, it's not like you're like, I've totally lost this conversation.
And if you did, you can go back, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
Robbie said, what?
Robbie said, what about finding two iPhones in a cemetery this morning?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, wow.
I forgot to tell you it was in a cemetery. Yeah.
How did he already know?
I posted it on Instagram.
Are you kidding? I'm Robbie's biggest fan.
Everybody's Robbie's biggest fan. The raccoon has a club.
I've been trying to figure out how to hard reset the iPhone so you can sell it.
It's hard, dude.
Yeah.
If it has a passcode on it, you literally need like
this
a
guy,
warrant.
Yeah.
We have a crazy dude next door who could do all that.
I know. I was thinking of taking it to him. A dude who can. He definitely knows how to do some shady stuff with a phone.
All right. So you run with your phone.
Yeah.
Speaking of phones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How many have you dropped?
Oh, dude, I've cracked it 3 times, but it's always the screen protector
Okay.
But I drop it every day. Like I just throw this thing. Here's the thing.
Well, it's hard when you got like Big Mac on your fingers and you're trying
That's
to
what
hold
I'm saying. It gets all slippery. But the thing about the phone, and this is a very unpopular opinion, especially to my girlfriend, it's just a tool to me.
Wait a second. That's your girlfriend?
Which one? Tall girl.
I
taller?
thought that you were married to, or you have a girlfriend
We'll
as well.
be married one day. Well, I have a secret family down in the Dominican, but no, we'll be married one day when she's out of school. And
She's going to be an architect.
She's gonna be an architect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Very cool.
We'll move down here to the Austin of Baltimore.
It is.
And,
Dude, Baltimore is the
we're
new
going to make
Austin.
it happen.
We should. Who else do we have to get out here? We got to get Co down here.
Oh, I would like Ben Johnson.
Ben, yeah.
Yeah, we could create a little enclave.
A little running group.
Yeah.
It's just influencers or whatever we're calling ourselves these days.
Have companies move their headquarters down here next to Under Armour.
Wait, so what were you saying? Yeah, so what were you saying about the phone being a tool?
Oh yeah, so the phone is just a tool to me. Like that is how I get my video out onto the feed. Like it's just one of the tools in the kit. I mean, it's my only tool.
And you've never thought about like the 360 cam or the GoPro or that? Okay.
It's too complicated.
Yeah.
When I first started this thing, it was originally just like the day that I can't film and edit and do everything in TikTok is the day I quit. And then I was like, I'm getting over to Instagram. I got to do CapCut. So like now it's film on the phone, record or edit on CapCut, post to both social medias. It's the most bare bones thing you'll ever see in your life. And I used to do the YouTube thing. So like I was working with the Premier Lacrosse League and the National Lacrosse League and this brand Signature Lacrosse for a while. And I was doing the vlog thing with like the big camera and the tripod. But like, it's so much more complicated.
Did you play lacrosse?
A little bit, but not much. I played college baseball.
All right.
So
Yeah, that was a crazy thing. So you were a pitcher in college?
yeah.
Okay.
Who's your
I had one
favorite
outing.
pro pitcher?
Yeah.
Pro pitcher?
One out.
Pedro Martinez.
Ooh,
Over
that's a good
Randy
one.
Johnson?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Pedro Martinez.
Pedro Martinez.
I will
is the
say,
goat.
even though not a Red Sox fan, I admire Pedro Martinez because
I mean,
he
could
was
be an Expo, Dodger.
Pedro Martinez.
Phillies.
True, but I feel like his glory days was like
It was with
Red
the
Sox, and Pedro Martinez is like I feel like never talked about enough. I know he is, but because he was pitching during the height of the steroid era.
Oh, yeah.
and was dominating
And mowing guys down.
Like that's just crazy. But
Now,
anyways,
okay, so
I'll get into baseball
with the
talk, so we
baseball
can
stuff.
stop.
No, let's take this a step further because a lot of people don't like doping in running,
Mhm.
I mean, it's pretty shitty, yeah.
and they doped in baseball, and we saw what happened. We saw explosion of talent.
Yeah.
You know, McGuire's
There needs to be 2 categories.
right. That so we interviewed a guy who had the what was it called?
The enhanced games.
Enhanced games. It was like we'll just let you.
That's
wanna-
what
you
I
wanna
love
dope?
that.
Yeah, I think like.
Same
Do you
way,
think that
dude.
baseball at one point? Do you think it suffered because of they got rid of the steroids or
No, I don't think it
lessened it?
suffered. Like, here's the thing about baseball, and this is why there's like so many flaws with it right now. Because baseball fans are baseball fans. Everyone else is just who gives a shit. Like baseball fans will always be here. They'll love it whether there's steroids, whether there's no steroids, whether there's a pitch clock or no pitch clock. It doesn't matter. We're not. It's a 100-year-old game or however old. We're not adding new fans. Like someone who loves hockey and lacrosse, I promise you, probably doesn't also love baseball because it's the most boring thing ever to them.
I
So it's
like
you're
I
not
like
gonna add-
I'm a sunny day baseball guy,
I mean, yeah, going to the ballpark and having
a
a couple
sunny day,
beers
yeah.
or drinks or whatever
do-
you're having.
and I do like the pitch clock for that.
The pitch clock is
See,
great.
my issue
I
with the
love
pitch
it.
clock though is when I go to the game and I have to pee, I miss half an inning.
Yeah. Well,
It's the
That's a
worst.
long- That's a long pee.
Take a bag.
I mean,
You just need to have a piss clock.
and you guys added bump an extra 45 seconds onto this in between innings, please.
yeah, I do think steroids save baseball though, because after the strike, it's like they needed something to come back, and I feel like it saved it in a way. So I think it worked out in the end. But
Who's your favorite steroid player? Mark
Barry
McGuire?
Bonds.
Barry Bonds.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
I
the
think
greatest
that's-
hitter.
What
of all
about
time.
Sosa?
Sosa was great, but Barry Bonds is like that's like saying who's your favorite? I don't even know. He's just he's the greatest hitter of all time. He saw one pitch a day for months, and he would hit it 475 feet.
Yeah.
Just hit the shit out of the ball. And the steroids aren't getting him to hit the ball. The steroids are helping him hit it a little bit further, but he still has to hit the ball.
Well, that's
And people don't realize how hard that is.
That's the thing. Like in running,
Mhm.
you could load me up with illegal substances. I'm still probably not breaking 3 hours.
I promise you, I probably won't break 4. You can give me all of them.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, your audience, you've kind of tapped into a group of people that maybe have felt intimidated by running, who aren't the people that necessarily are as concerned with what your split time for a 200 is or what your this and that. It's more the people that are running either for health, just want to get out there, be active. What would you, I won't tell you who your audience is. Why don't you tell me who your audience
Well, you just
is?
broke it down perfectly. I mean, I think there's a lot of people too who care about splits and their times and everything. But I think there's a large majority of people who are very much just into, let's go for a run. Let's go have fun. It will not be faster than 10:30 pace or 11-minute pace. That's awesome. That's a lot of fun to me. And those are the people that, I've kind of been able to relate with, and also give people the confidence to be like, oh, wait, it's okay that I run 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-minute miles. Yeah, I did 33 miles last week, and the average pace was 14 minutes.
And
Still
I think
went 33 fucking miles.
But trail minutes are different than.
Well, no, that was
that was on a
even
track, right?
Okay, yeah, it was around a track.
But the whatchamacallit, I think the other thing is there's different reasons why we all run.
Yeah.
And one person's might be to PR a race, one person's might be to complete the race. Another person is like, I like to drink, I like to eat. I need to balance that out.
Yeah, we're trying to stop that though, right? We don't want to run so that we can do those things.
Oh.
This is what I'm being told on Instagram.
Oh.
I feel that way.
Dude, that's how I feel.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever stop that, because I will tell you
No,
this.
you won't.
When I started running, I was out of shape and a little overweight. And I was like, I watched my dad deteriorate as he got older. It wasn't weight related, but it was just not pleasant. And I was like, I need to get myself into shape. And I want to continue to be able to enjoy life and do this. I don't want to diet my way to weight loss. I'd rather run and do it. And I think and Jarrett is a good example of someone he loves food.
Yeah, I love food.
I think he's spiritually, he will follow you. He knows, you know how you told Robbie how many phones he found? Jarrett will be able to tell you what you're recommending for food. He'll be like, yeah, that's a good recommendation. You should listen to that one. And I tried one of your recommendations.
Yeah, you didn't love it.
Here's the problem. I realized that I don't love fast food. That's not my vice.
Wait, which one what did you try?
He got a cheeseburger.
The cheeseburger burrito
From Trader Joe's.
Not a sponsor.
And I will say it is good, but the meat inside of it is pellets.
Yeah, it kind of throws you through a loop at first.
And I think that's what got
just
me.
finely chopped meat or what?
No, it's pellets.
It's like pellets. Yeah, that's the best way to describe
Like,
it.
I'm
Yeah,
sure there's
imagine deer shit.
Dippin' Dots?
Dude,
It's
imagine
bigger
a
than
big
Dippin' Dots.
bag of
ground
meat
beef.
pellets. For it
It's like
I gotta try it.
it's like little circles.
you do have to try it.
No, they're good. I mean, if you like fast food, that's my vice,
Dude, if
Big Macs are my vice, dude.
Yeah. It did taste like he said, and my favorite thing was that it's a sizable burrito.
Yeah, it's a good size.
And he goes, hey, it's half the calories of a Big Mac, so you can have 2.
And then you know what the funny part is?
I like that. I like
Someone
it.
DM me and goes, it actually has more calories than a Big Mac.
Does it really?
Apparently, I don't look
See,
at it.
you
dude.
ruined me because I went ahead and made it. But no, it's actually, I mean, it really does taste like someone took a Big Mac and stuffed it.
Yeah, into a burrito.
That's what you should do. You should buy one of those big burritos.
Dude, it definitely
the tortillas. Take a Big Mac, roll it up.
I mean, I would consider it, but like, would you take the bread out?
No.
Shoot, it does.
That would be too much.
Dude, it does have more calories than a Big Mac. That's wild.
See, you screwed me. I thought I was eating half a Big Mac.
You thought you were making out.
No, I'm saying, okay. So
it's like take a Big Mac and just simply wrap it in a burrito.
Yeah, because think about it. It's hard to carry a Big Mac around with you.
Yeah, it is.
Once you
it
wrap
just slides all over the place. You're right. And then it's not oozing the Big Mac sauce all over the place. That's the biggest pain in the ass when you're like running and you stop and eat a Big Mac on your run.
What's the craziest thing you've eaten? What's the craziest thing you've eaten on a run?
Probably the Big Mac. Or a cheesesteak. No, it's
a cheesesteak. Like, what pace are you doing with the cheesesteak? Or you stop and eat it?
No, the cheesesteak I was able to move a little bit. Probably like a 11:30 pace.
Do you know who Dean Karnazes is?
No.
Okay, Dean Karnazes was like the first crazy ultra runner in the sport. Like,
I should know that.
At least the first advertised one. Like, he did 50 marathons in 50 days.
Oh, I know.
Ran across the United States, does all that kind of stuff. He started off like his whole journey in running started off because he was drunk with some friends and he ran home from a bar that was like, I don't know, 30 miles from his house.
That's the best way to run.
Yeah. And he's another person who likes getting pizza delivered to him while he's running and will eat pizza while he's running.
I love that. Yeah. No, we had a buddy that we went to happy hour. We do a happy hour run in Boston. So we went to happy hour. We drank way too much. And then we ran like 5 miles to McDonald's, then ran 5 miles back home.
Okay. What is your diaper bill?
What do you mean? I don't, dude, I'm so good.
You're that good?
My jokes about shitting myself are real. Like I've done it like 3 times now. But yeah, other than that, I'm tip top.
I don't know. Rob, the whole reason I can't run I don't love running in the evening because I like running on pretty much an empty stomach. I'll do what Feathers says and eat a couple graham crackers and then I'm out the door.
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
Do you carry toilet paper with you on your runs ever?
No, dude. I sweat way too much.
What about a towel?
No, but inside of a Ziploc bag.
No.
No. Robbie's got it down. Do you run with toilet paper?
That's a good idea, though.
Not all the time, but a lot of long runs. Yeah, I will.
Okay. I had a friend who used to bring a towel with him. I was like, why have a towel? And he's like,
if I shit myself.
It's like, yeah, when I just go in the bushes.
I've had too many like nothing available situations that
You don't run into that too frequently in Boston. In Boston, you can usually within like a half mile find either a porta potty or just run into someone's restaurant.
My favorite is the hotel.
Yeah, the hotel's good too.
You go in the lobby, see that restroom sign.
I hate walking past the front desk.
I love it. I pretend I'm staying there.
It's like, what do they say? Act like you're supposed to be there and nobody will question you.
That's true.
Well, you got onto the Florida Knicks game once doing that. So I went to boarding school and
I did as well.
Yeah, where at?
I was in upstate New York.
Oh, okay, cool. I was in New Jersey. But
that's similar.
Yeah, very similar. Yeah. But our dorm parent, my senior year, his wife was a dancer for the Knicks. So like we went as a bunch of boys and him and went to the Knicks game. And we I guess weren't supposed to be on the floor, but his wife was down there. We saw her, so you walk towards someone that you think
Yeah,
they just let you on.
That
Not
is
even
true.
a question.
So what did you do wrong that you ended up in boarding school?
I didn't do anything wrong. People ask me this all the time. I asked to go to boarding school. So
Really?
I played hockey my whole life growing up, and we went to Lawrenceville in New Jersey, in Princeton, when I was probably like 8 years old. And I was like, Mom, Dad, why are there kids here? It's a high school on the weekend. They're like, yeah, it's a boarding school. Like, it's a cool thing. I'm like, sign me up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go. I wanted to leave. Like, I just wanted to go and experience something new. So like when 8th grade came around, my parents were like, you still want to do the boarding school thing? I was like, sign me up. Let's go. So we went toured a bunch of them. And all is history.
So you just lived there the whole time?
It's like college. You just go to college 4 years early.
My concept is Dead Poet Society, and that's about it. So
no, that's much more strict.
Okay,
like,
so
basically boarding school is just like
it's the worst college ever that I went to. Mine wasn't even rich
So wait,
kids.
was yours like a military?
No, it was kind of, there was a lot of people on scholarship from the inner city that it was pretty much, so it wasn't like a nice, I wouldn't call it a nice boarding school. I was into skateboarding and vandalism and in California. And when my father moved to the East Coast, I got, hey, guess what? We're done. We're done raising kids.
Yeah, I had a culture shock too. I mean, I come from this place, Vineland, New Jersey, where it's like I was also skateboarding at the time, like super into like whatever we did. We rode bikes around town, got into trouble, did did literally whatever. And I show up on day one, and I'm like, I got to dress nice. I'm going to like put on like some cargo shorts and a nice polo shirt, and I roll up, and everyone's in Vineyard Vines and fucking driving up in their Range Rovers and stuff. And
yeah, this was not,
that
wasn't my
not
school.
me, bro.
No way.
Like I was able to culturally, you know, get with the times apparently, but you know, it was a great experience. I mean, that was probably the best decision I ever made in my life though, because I got to go and learn how to be an adult a little bit for a couple of years, and then also like the amenities that were provided to us were unbelievable. So like trying to play a college sport, I had a bigger gym than my college even had to work with. I had a locker room, everything in the fitness center.
Was it all guys?
No, guys and girls, which is a wild concept when you put a bunch of like 14 to 18-year-olds together.
Dude,
How does that
okay,
work
but
out?
your school must have had like numbers, because mine, we had 100 people total from 9th to 12th grade.
I want to say we had like 600.
Yeah, see, there's some, like ours was more like a sort of an inbreeding kind of thing going on.
Yeah, we weren't quite there.
Sounds like Survivor, but school.
It was. I would have been voted off the island way early.
You have to start making what do they call them, like packs or whatever.
Yeah.
I got in a fist
Big
fight with
calls.
like my roommate in the first week, and I got put into a single room, and then I got moved out of the single room. Yeah, it was like
I showed up, and it was hilarious because, you know, being from Vineland, like there's not very many international people.
I don't know where Vineland is.
So Vineland's in South Jersey. It's like the most like middle class, just generic.
Is it basically Philly, like outside of Philly?
It's basically right outside of Philly.
Okay.
And I get to school, and I see on my dorm, on my door of my dorm, it's like Alex Hermanson and Sung Hoon Yu. And I'm like, oh no, does my roommate speak English? Like, I'm like, I'd never like met someone from, you know, I don't know where Sung Hoon's from yet. And then he comes and he goes, yo, what's up? I'm Mike. I was like, oh, okay, dope.
that would be a Korean name, wouldn't it?
It was Korean. So yeah, he was Korean. He was great. He was awesome. And we lived together for the first year, and it was just, but it was hilarious because I'm like, this is not something I'm used to.
Do you and him still
That's what I was going
chit
to
chat?
ask. Yeah.
No, he and I never really stayed tight like after that year because we lived together, and then I moved in with my roommate for the next 3 years, Connor, and he and I couldn't be more opposite too. I mean, he's a kid whose neighbor is Bruce Springsteen and from Rumson, New Jersey. So like we just couldn't, like one day he literally said to me, he's like, I don't understand why poor people are poor. Like, just go work harder. I was like, oh, dude.
That's hilarious.
You have no idea, man.
I don't understand. That's amazing.
Most of them choose to be
Connor.
that way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I love him.
And that was Connor Blaylock from Running Warehouse.
Oh, he's catching strays out here.
Man, so what got you eventually, so you played baseball, hockey, other sports, then how did you even come around to running? Like, I don't understand the path to it.
Yeah, neither do I. It starts in college when I failed my fitness test. Like, so you show up to campus, I failed my fitness test 8 times.
What was the challenge?
Yeah.
So it was 1.5 miles in 9.5 minutes. So it's like I think it's like a 6:30 pace or something. It's moving. It's a good pace.
That's pretty fast.
And I failed it 8 times. At the same time, I was an idiot. I was, going out every night partying. I had a 1.82 GPA. I remember the coach brought me in. He's like, "Thank God you have a 1.82 because a 1.8 gets you you lose eligibility." I was like,
Oh wow!
Hey, I'm working.
That's
so
Connor should have had a pep talk with you. I don't understand why people don't get good grades.
So I failed it 8 times, and then I was like, I have to figure out how to do this running thing. Like, I'm just naturally not fast. It's just not in my fast twitch muscles to go that fast.
That's pretty fast.
It's moving. Like, that's pretty good pace.
I have 800s tomorrow at a 7 flat, and I'm like nervous about it.
Yeah, exactly. So I go and I pass on my 9th time. Luckily, they had like the grad assistant or whatever with the stopwatch that day, and I think he might have gave me a few seconds. And so I got back home that summer though. I worked on this oyster farm with a bunch of hippie people, and they were cool, but they were also vegan. So I went vegan. I lost a ton of weight.
Hold on a second. They're raising oysters, but they're vegan.
So yeah, I think it was fine for them. It was a weird ethical thing.
Yeah, because they're
These
selling.
people, this was a wild summer, dude. Like the first night we lived in this house on the water.
I'm picturing a lot of bong and glassware around the house.
There was, and it was like the first night I come downstairs and there's these 3 girls and they're doing naked yoga on the deck outside, pointing like whatever west or east or whatever they need to do. And they're like, yeah, this is just how we take in the sun in the morning.
You're like, dude,
Were you like, I am the sun?
I'm like, I went out there one morning. I did it once. It was like, you know, I'm cool with running with my shirt off because I did that. Like that's how you break through that,
That's
you know, stigma.
Okay.
But so bring it back to running. So I just went out and I would just run as fast as I could for like, we'd now call them 800s or, you know, whatever, and just repeat it all. So I came back, passed it with flying colors my sophomore year. I ended up tearing my labrum, getting surgery, stopping my baseball career. And I fell out of love with running very hard. I fell out of love with exercise. I never wanted to lift again a day in my life. And then during the pandemic, my girlfriend Alexis, she starts running. And I'm like, you're crazy. Like, why would you want to do this? And so she gets in running. She goes back to London because that's where she was doing undergrad at the time. She signs up for her first half marathon. And I quite literally flew over there because I thought she was going to die. I'm like, it is not, like, no human should be running 13 miles. So I'm there for her first half marathon. And I was like, this is awesome. You can stop now. And she's like, I knocked something off.
Probably Robbie's change.
Yeah.
Grab that.
I'm like, you can be done now. Like you've ran 30. She's like, no, I think I'm going to sign up for New York City Marathon. She's like, nobody gets in the lottery. So like, why would I do that? She gets in the lottery, of course. So I go and watch the New York City Marathon the next year. I'm like, you know what? This is it. I'm going to start doing this now.
I mean,
And
when you see the people that are involved, it's infectious. It's like, there's happy people. And in this world, I think it's so rare to see a group of people who are like enjoying life and the suffering part of it as well.
Right.
That aren't intoxicated, that aren't, you know, it's like for me, I was going to bars and stuff like that. And then I found running and I was like, oh wow, there's daylight stuff you can do.
The cool thing too was like kind of going back to why I started this whole thing is like I saw people of all shapes and sizes doing it. Like there was not everybody looked like Robbie, which is like what in my head was what every runner looked like. So when I saw people that like looked like me and were, you know, going at like a 10, 11, 12 minute pace, I was like, wait, this is kind of like, I could do this. I could probably figure this out. So I went home the next day and just started running. And I got some on cloud monsters, ended up getting shin splints. And I was
gonna say it's not the worst shoe to start running.
No, it might
probably
be.
not.
It's probably the worst shoe. No.
I love the monster.
I would say if you're heavier though, you might want something a little more.
Well, I'm still trying to
structure?
confirm this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely want something more because it's
crazy too.
Everything there just didn't work. So ended up hating it a little bit, but then I got some new shoes and started enjoying it. I mean, it was a lot of walking at first.
What was the first pair of shoes you really loved?
New Balance More V4. Okay, I literally have them on my feet right now. Actually,
yeah, you do.
The mountain ones.
The mountain ones. Yeah, the trail ones.
So wait, Alexis, right?
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
We met on the line.
Oh,
during
really?
the pandemic.
You owe everything to the phone.
I do.
I thought you meant like an Alex fan club. It was just like people whose names start with Alex.
That's funny.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
We put Alex.
There's a fan club for all of us.
We just put Alex on everything now, though, so like it doesn't get confusing because it is. Yeah, we basically have the same name. But yeah, no, we met online during the pandemic. I mean, I don't think it's weird to say that anymore. At the time, we were like, yeah, we met through a mutual friend.
You know? It's definitely not weird.
No, now it's totally normal. Now we've lived through a global pandemic, and that's when we met. Like
15 years ago was
Wait,
weird,
so you met during the global pandemic?
Yeah, like right when it started.
So how long before you started chatting were you able to see each other?
I think we saw each other like a week after. It wasn't very long.
With masks or without masks? Because that's a really difficult thing.
Oh no, it was with masks for sure. It was new enough where it was like
really
like we would take them off when we were together.
Yeah.
But like if you're in public, you were still wearing masks.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, she wasn't even supposed to be like she didn't want to date anyone. She's like a lot more like reserved than me. And like she very much makes it apparent to people. So she had an internship with Bumble at the time. So she had
to do it.
She had to like learn the platform. They're like, hey, hop on here, like learn the platform. She hops on to start trying to roast people, and like she's like trying to roast me and just not working. I'm not letting it happen.
Like, were you thinking she was hitting on you?
No,
okay.
No, I was doing all the work there. Yeah. And then eventually, I think she was like, wait, this guy doesn't suck. And yeah, the rest is history.
That's
now
crazy.
We live together with our dog in Cambridge. We've been together for almost 4 years, and
isn't it crazy that the pandemic
was 4 years ago? I still feel like it's like yesterday.
There's parts of it I miss.
Oh, dude, I missed the whole like first month. It was the best. I came home from college with my family. We played board games and did puzzles every day. There was also like
I'm telling you,
no
and Jarrett
expectation
together
to do anything, man.
Yeah. If you do move down here, you and Jarrett will be best friends.
Does he do puzzles?
He loves puzzles.
You want to know what I did this weekend? So like everybody keeps asking like, what did you do for the holiday? Well, we're Jewish. So I quite literally took 2 days off of work and did 2 puzzles over the span of 48 hours.
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah. I borrowed puzzles from Jarrett.
Did you really? The other thing that he's into that I don't even want to turn you on to because it might ruin your life. He got a free power washing game.
Dude, that's the greatest game. No, it's not as good as the yard simulator, though. The lawn mowing simulator.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm into right now, though? Microsoft has a flight simulator to learn how to fly. I've been very into it. Like
do you feel like if you got in an actual plane, you could do
absolutely
it?
not.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not. But I turned it on the other night, and it's like a 27-minute video of someone like doing it. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
So you will watch somebody like a Twitch. What do they call it?
Yeah, it's like Twitch.
Okay.
But it's on YouTube.
All right.
But have you played the game?
No, I haven't. I haven't done it yet. No,
This is a crazy
obsessed
thing.
with watching it.
I don't understand this. When did this switch happen where people went from learning to play a game to watching people play a game?
Because I'm so bad with my like hand-eye video game wise that I would crash the plane before it even took off.
So do you feel though watching it, you could learn it and then, okay.
I think it would translate better.
The watching the games thing, I still don't, I just won't ever understand because when we were growing up, the worst thing that could happen to you is watching someone play a video game.
The only time that I didn't like
There's nothing worse.
So I had one friend that was like really good at video games, and I had a Sega Genesis, and there was like parts of like maybe it'd be Sonic or something like that where I couldn't get past a certain level. And I'd invite him over and he'd be like, and then he'd be like, all right, thank you.
Yeah, that's cool. But
I think the games back then though aren't fun to watch. Like there's some games now, like the Hogwarts game, for example. I am not going to play it because I know it would take me far too long and I don't have that kind of capacity. But I can watch it while I'm like working and doing stuff. And
Robbie,
it's like watching the prequel to Harry Potter.
I'd be addicted to it.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying the future is gaming is going to take over movies. Like passively watching a movie is going to get.
Do you think?
Think about
I
it
can see podcasts taking over more, like just listening.
No, I think that I like the idea of 2 parts of this. One, either participating in your movie, so that would be like gaming. So like you go in and you're able to be like a non-playing character or whatever, NPC in the storyline, so you could be there like as an extra in the movie,
just watching it.
Yeah, and you get to go every place.
It'd be kind of cool in VR.
Yeah,
like imagine being at Hogwarts in VR and you're just walking around like, oh, there's Harry. Let's go watch what he's gonna do today, and it's just some.
Or you could pick your class that you're gonna take that day. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna go video editing with Professor Herms.
There's gonna be a point where like we just don't leave our houses and we're all in VR.
Well, that's the whole thing behind Ready Player One, like that thing.
Did you see the TikTok where somebody played a preview of GTA 6 for their grandma and she thought it was the real news? She was like losing her mind because there was like a car like flipping down the hill, taking out a bunch of people. And she's like, oh,
that would be my grandma.
It was the real, like happening in real life.
Meemaw freaking out.
Oh man, that game is gonna be.
So
crazy.
for me, video games, I had like a PlayStation, whatever, and I had to stop playing because Lord of the Rings came out on it, and I kept like I go to bed now 8:30, lights are dimming, it's going out, and even back then I was an early to bed kind of person. And I was staying up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning playing Lord of the Rings. And then it was the first time I remember rebooting up the video game system, and I saw like how long I had played. And it was like 5 days or something like that. And I was just like, and I gave away my PlayStation that day. I was just like,
I can't do it anymore. We were actually talking about this at work yesterday because my coworker, he has played, I think he said 50,000 hours of one game.
Stop.
And I was
stop.
I swear, dude. I'm like, I thought I was crazy for going and running in circles for 8 hours. This dude just sits at his computer, hunched over, just tapping keys.
I will tell you, I have a 3-minute game that I play quite often. Like if I have like that.
Is it like a duration game? How
it is. So it's Clash Royale.
Oh, my dad plays that.
Yeah.
I told him the other day, I'm like, if I just set you up in a man cave with your Clash Royale and put 4 TVs up, like with a couple sports games and like a documentary, he'll never leave.
Well, the thing that's addictive about it, it's only like 3 minutes is the max.
Right.
So if you have that minute, like say that we are going to do a podcast and I've finished my emails or whatever, and I'm going like, okay, we doing the podcast in 5 minutes. there's that time where you could be like, it's like that space of time where you just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And
Clash
you
Royale.
you pull it up and you, or, you know, I won't say that you could use it in the bathroom.
Oh, that's the best place. To do
Yeah.
it. That's the only place I find myself playing games. But I play Tetris.
Okay.
Tetris is kind of
See, but
my
then
thing.
if you're on a street, you just got to sit there.
I'll play Tetris out there too. Oh, wait, you mean with Clash Royale?
No, for you, if you're playing Tetris
Oh, if I'm on a streak.
and you're in the bathroom and you're on a street, you're not getting up.
It's true. That does
Your
happen.
legs are gonna die.
No, that
Going
definitely
numb.
happens. It's like putting on the Normatec boots. That's what it feels like when you get up.
I wonder if that's where Normatec boots came
That's
from.
how they got their idea.
Like, I need something to recover from that toilet.
No, I was always I was big into like the sports games, so like the show, Madden, FIFA.
Yeah.
That none of that's on your phone though, right?
No, I can't play phone games really other than Tetris.
Dude, the fact that you know someone that played 50,000 hours of a game tells me that once the VR is perfected, whether that's future versions,
People
of
are just
Apple,
in it.
people are definitely just going to
Oh,
live
yeah.
in it. Like, live in it.
Dude, he straight up logs off of work, walks his dog, comes home, and sits there until 4 a.m.
Dude,
every
that's
single day.
crazy.
Like, it is absurd to me, dude. I have a 1 week of every year where I'm like super into video games. It just hits me in like the middle of the summer. I'm like, I just want to play a lot of video games right now. And then as soon as that week is up or I like get stuck on a level,
It's like a
it's
binge
gone.
drinker.
I'm so good. Oh yeah, it's definitely not healthy.
Well, the crazy thing about that though is we're talking about like artificial intelligence and all that stuff. What are we going to do with all these people? It's going to be gaming,
Yeah.
and they're just going to be plugged in, sitting there.
We're gonna be playing running video games rather. We're gonna be trying to break 2 hours on the VR
Well,
instead.
no, I do. I actually think that it will be different. I think that, like right now, if you like during the pandemic was a good example. You had people that decided like I'm going to go outside, hiking, bird watching, running, all these like sports that you could do basically without congregating or whatever. And I do think that there's going to be a split between those who decide to plug in and check out and those who are going to be like living in the world, but
I
like
think-
taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I think it'll be almost two different worlds. There'll be those who want to be in the VR world, and then those who want to be like part of the.
Weren't we just talking about not separating people? Come on, you two.
I just think that's gonna be how it is.
No, I agree. I
don't know.
don't know. If I wasn't posting like I do, like I kind of wanted to turn this phone into like my post phone and just carry on a flip phone.
Post my phone.
Dude, same man.
I want a
like-
flip phone so
I think about it all the
badly.
time.
I think about it every day.
Do you really?
I
Yeah.
really do.
But what do you see? Here's my problem with that. What do I need a flip phone for?
Just
so
to
people
get me
can
away
call
from
you
my
and text you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to get me away from my real phone.
So you don't want a phone. You want a texting machine. You want like
I just
a
want
sidekick.
something so that I can't log on to these apps
Yeah.
when I'm bored or
That's-
doing it, or like people can't contact me.
Well, see, but that's what I'm saying with a flip phone. I don't like talking on the phone that much.
You
You
can
can
text.
text.
Yeah.
Like get
So
back to
why
like,
didn't
the
someone
short,
just make
like,
a little-
GTG,
Yeah.
They do.
BRB.
They do have them. They're called dumb. They're like modern.
Yeah,
dumb
it's called like
phones.
dumb. I think it's literally called the dumb phone.
They have even maps on them,
Mhm.
but like
Yeah,
not
the GPS I couldn't live without.
I think a text. If you just had text, then that would be fine.
I don't
Because,
trust myself with a smart. I cannot detach myself from a smartphone.
Yeah.
All right. Where do you find yourself going?
What do you mean?
Okay, so like when you're bored, and the reflex. See, my biggest thing is I have a reflex. If I'm sitting on the couch with Megan
Instagram.
and she grabs her phone and puts it towards her face, boom! I gotta check my
Right,
phone.
right.
Yeah. I do that too.
It's like a reflex, and I'm sure the same thing happens if I do it. Megan probably. It's like yawning. But where would you say that right now? I picked up my phone, I started going through it, and you would pick up your phone. Where do you go? Do you have like a check this,
Dude.
check that, check this?
It'd be Slack because I check Slack for work way too frequently. That's what I can't get away from. That's what I need to be better about.
Huh.
And then like Instagram probably, so I can be everyone's biggest fan. And then Strava, then TikTok. I'm so good at Strava.
Do you like stuff that you don't like just because you like the person?
Yeah, all the time. Do you do that?
Yeah, of course. I think that's the
There's accounts that like I hype up so hard that I think are horrible.
Give me one. We can edit it out.
no.
All right.
We'll talk about this after.
Yeah.
All right.
That's interesting.
I just think that like in the running space, like I think that there's like a lot of stock in like the clickbaity shit where it's like, here's how to get fast in, 10 10 days.
Yeah.
And like there's a spot for it. There's people that want that, but
Do you realize who was the king of that back in the day?
you?
No, I've never been good at that. The runner's world.
Oh yeah.
Like right now, get faster in the new year. Learn.
I mean, think about
coach to 5K.
Like they had SEO figured out before everyone else.
Right.
Well, they had magazine purchases because I know, okay, so say that it's the first of the year. You're going to go, you know what? I really need to do something against you. I'm going to go to that running store. I'm going to check out a pair of shoes. And as you're checking out, on the counter was your Runner's World, and the Runner's World said, couch to 5K.
Yeah.
How to run hills. And the problem is that like we see it from like a new person on Instagram, and they'll be like, here's how to run, some tips on running hills. And it's the first time you're hearing it. But like if you're a Runner's Run, you've been around for 10 years, how many times can you write the article? Here's 5 tips to run. Yeah. But after a while, you lose subscribers because they're like, I don't really need to subscribe to a magazine that's going to tell me how to run hills every
that's
January.
like the
Especially
OG
if you can
clickbait.
Google it.
Yeah, like every one of my videos starts with some form of clickbait. Like it'll be complete bullshit half the time. Like I started a video once with like the TikToker I hate the most, or like TikTok runner I hate the most, or this is how much money I made last month doing running content, and then just never answer the question.
I like that.
And I made a video about why I do that.
It's interesting because Mr. Beast does that in a way as well, where he'll put himself like chained up to something and say like got the video I was talking about, like 100 days inside a room, but he doesn't do it. It's other people doing the thing.
Yeah, but if he posted a picture of that other person, you'd be like,
exactly. No,
Right. Who cares then?
Yeah.
He's not. They're not recognizable.
And no one cares. It's just the thing to get you to click on it.
No. Somebody once asked me if I felt bad about it. I was like, no.
I don't.
I got you to watch the
felt
video.
bad
didn't
about
I?
what?
Like
Just clicking,
baiting people
people?
into watching the content. I'm like, no.
I mean, it is. Here's like we discuss this all the time. For me, the content that we try to make, I try to make content that I would enjoy watching or that I think is interesting. And you know, it's funny because it's not always going to be our most popular thing.
Yeah, that's the part that's like where it's like kind of like Rick Rubin said, like if you're trying to get views and likes, then you're already failed.
Yeah,
like that's never been my thing. I will never like. Why would I change something that's already got me here? Similar to you guys, like you've already gained this massive, awesome following. Why would you change something just for views or clicks?
Right.
I think that's a temptation though for everybody. You see, like I'll be honest. I see something that you do or something. I'd be like, oh, that's a good idea. You know, or maybe we should be doing something like that. And
you'll probably see something I put out once a week where I only made it just for the views. Because at the same time, you do have to keep up that, flow.
How do you stop it from looking like an advertisement now that you're getting like deals with like brands and stuff?
It depends on the brand. Depends on the company. Like some companies are just garbage at it. Like you know what's going to work for you. You know what your audience wants to see, and brands for some reason just don't trust you at all.
That's what drives me the most crazy because like we'll do a podcast spot and they'll give you a script and I'm like, no, you just got to trust us.
Just let us do it.
Thing.
Yeah,
exactly. Like Lagoon. Like
there's a reason people are listening to this podcast. It's
right, and like you guys can naturally talk about them. I don't need you to read me. Their whatever generated
pillows.
Yeah. Because it doesn't come off well, and so like. There's been a couple brands that have reached out to me and like I've done the videos for them or whatever, but I'm like, this isn't fun for me. Like I know this isn't going to perform well. I know that this isn't going to get you what you're looking for.
I think it also turns off your audience to a certain point. Like it's one thing they know. Like I feel like they know that if we're in this space, there's going to be times where we need to, make money so that we can continue to bring the content that we bring. Right. We try to do it and keep the stuff somewhat separate. I don't know if it comes across that way, but there's stuff that we do that are like events. But like when it comes to a shoe review, we're never like this shoe that we actually turn down money to review shoes. Like we're like, no, we'll just give you our honest opinion. And there's been shoes that we've gone back and said we can't. Like
I did take one where I was like, I love this shoe, so I don't mind getting paid for it because it's like I'm going to make this video anyway. Like I'm going to make this exact video. So I might as well get a couple bucks for it. But no, I wouldn't do that. I don't review things though either. Like I do big dude approved, but it's like, I don't get paid for those.
Well, no, I would say like, I think where I was going with it to a certain degree is I feel like the audience can tell when you're selling something rather than like, because here's when I got into this, I was excited about the product. I was excited about the things that went around running. I played golf for a little while. I wanted all the golf balls. I wanted try all the shoes. I wanted to try the clubs. I love gear.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, that's why brands don't trust you. And like how you're like, just put it in my hands, because it's like, what, after you see it 3 times, you want to buy it or something like that. Nobody wants to watch ads. You don't want to watch ads. I don't want to watch ads. We skip right through them if we see the paid advertisement, whatever. But if you put, your shoes in my hands or on my feet, or you put your water bottle in my hand, after they watch it 3 times, they're like, you know what? Liquid Death looks pretty good today. Like, maybe I'll go get a can of that or something like that. So it's like, for me, it's like, I always think of this video where I saw Kevin Kisner holding a smart water bottle before he golfed. And I'm like, all right, he drinks smart water before he goes golfing. Maybe I'll try that. And like, then it becomes like a superstitious thing in your head where, okay, before I go golfing every time, I'm going to buy a smart water. Like, put it in our hands. Just let us naturally integrate it. Give us 6 months and all the product we need. And I promise you, that'll be more beneficial than you paying me upfront for one video that is like, I love this shoe because it's the greatest shoe I've ever worn. No, it's not. That shoe fucking sucks, but I got paid to say this.
What was that one shoe that came out? Oh, I'm not going to say the brand, but it was a 3D printed shoe that they gave to just about everybody.
Oh yeah,
and you
There's
can't
only like one shoe.
I know you can't run in it. And I saw these people online going, "This is a really great running shoe. When you run in this," and I was like, "We won't even review that because it's not even."
It's not a running shoe.
It's not. Yeah, it's not even up to.
Well, that's like.
There it is.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I'm looking at it right now. But like that was why I had a deal with Marathon Sports recently where I did a video where I went in and I showed the shoe fitting process. And like, yeah, it's a paid ad, but this is like an actual useful video that people will get something out of. And at the end of the day, I also got a new pair of shoes that are really cool. So
what did they fit you with?
I got Supernova Rise, but that was kind of pre-scripted too.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I tried other shoes, but here's the
thing.
Have
you gone long in that shoe?
Dude, I hate it long. I had the same feedback you had. It was like, it was great up until like mile 5 or like the 10K mark. And then I'm like, this kind of hurts.
I think they're marketing it wrong where it should be that is a great shoe for someone who is going to the gym, wants to do 3 miles of cardio, maybe on the treadmill, maybe outside, maybe on the track. It's a really good shoe for that. And it has a nice stable platform for like lifting or doing stuff like that. So I think it fits in that. And I really feel like the biggest problem some of these companies have is the storytelling behind the shoe, because they have a brief and they're like, this is what it is. This is what the consumer we're looking for.
Oh, I'm very aware of that brief. I got 3 PR packages from that. It was like between working with like Marathon Sports, Adidas, and another brand, like somehow I got on 3 lists to get 3 PR packages. So that big ass Supernova Rise pops. I had 3 of them stacked in my living room.
That is a problem. Sometimes they get a little zealous. One of the weird things for us is we don't always work with the PR company. A lot of times we're working with
the brand directly.
Yeah, the brand directly. So we don't. Sometimes we had to start asking for spec sheets because we would get shoes in like a bag. Oh, yeah. Like a plastic bag, like here's the shoe we want you guys to review.
The guy next door just dropped them off.
I mean, pretty much. And no box, nothing. So more so like when Robbie came on, it was more important to get the details right. Like I was like, yeah, it's close enough.
That works. This weighs about.
No, I had a scale.
This feels like a 4mm drop.
Yeah, but so we started
12.
getting more spec sheets and stuff like that. But it's really evolved, and even in some of the things, I got excited because we got an Adidas like press box for the Pro 3, and I opened that up, and there's a jacket in it. I love those things.
That jacket's nice, right?
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
And I love those packages because they're fun and they're fun for content. And if they're done right, they lend to us creating more content.
Right. And then like, we'll do it for free. Like that's free stuff for them.
Right, pretty much.
They're saving so much money there.
Well, for us, we do on our side, all the shoe reviews. We don't. They're all free. So like we don't ever take money for a shoe review because we can't. That for us is like conflict of interest. Like
it's unintentional bias too. Like as soon as you give me a couple bucks, I might like that shoe a little bit more.
Well, I think one thing that I've been proud, especially that it's not just like me, it's not just Robbie, it's not just Megan. When we get a shoe in or something, and even if we have like really good relationships with the company, when we review it, if there's something to be called out or if we just don't like it, it doesn't work. Even if one of us is having a good day that day and we're like, yeah, let's, this is.
Yeah, there's a weird thing where you see it all the time that people think or assume that if we say something bad about the shoe that we're not going to get product from companies, which is so funny because it's couldn't be further from the truth.
It's actually, we get more.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from one company. I actually heard, but
literally nobody cares if you say something bad about a shoe.
No, I mean, I think a lot of good companies will take that feedback and be like, you know what, we actually knew about this 2 years ago, but we had to get it out.
Oh,
well, and they do that. And that's the other thing. I used to think that we were influencing maybe the next gen.
You're not.
Not at
You're
all.
influencing 4 gens ahead or something crazy like that.
Now it's hard to find a shoe without a gusset.
When I was at Puma the other day, I was like, oh yeah, we're a lot of gens behind here.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
It's pretty crazy how far ahead.
And also depends on the company too. Like some companies are like had trouble during COVID getting manufacturing going, and others didn't. But
yeah, the getting shoes thing, and this is why I can't do reviews, because I will also review the color of the shoe. Like if a brand sent, like if the Supernova Rise, I'll never wear again, just because I hate the way it looks. Mm-hmm. Like I strictly wear white shoes.
That is part.
That's definitely part of it. I just don't.
Robbie and I talk about how you can wear it with jeans or not.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. There's very few shoes I would wear with jeans though, even. But it's like I tweeted it the other day or X'd it or threaded it. I don't freaking know. But I was like,
maybe threaded.
Yeah, 2023. How the hell are we still putting out ugly colorways of shoes? Like with that being the main launch. I'm like,
who's the worst with the main launch colors? I'll tell you who I think is the worst.
They're just very bright.
They're a little too. Yeah. They've gone mermaid.
I honestly don't love ASIC's launch colors.
I don't either. Actually, I like the Nova Blast.
What about Nike?
Oh yeah, Nike.
They always dropping the worst ones.
Dude, we got black, all black Vomero.
Yeah,
like we got that denim jean.
But the other thing though is that those shoes do sell the most. Like the basic, they do.
I think that the
black,
your average
the navy
person,
blue, like the average person, that's what they buy. Like they don't care.
Well, no, it's not just that they don't care. A lot of people, same thing with buying super shoes. They say that you don't want to look like you don't want to stand out. So like a bright color or something like that. They don't want people to be like, oh, look at you, you're fancy over there with your bright shoes.
I just want white shoes, triple white.
You everything. Do. Here's the weird thing about that. There was a time period where everything was bright colors. And I remember like the Hoka Clifton came out in all black. It was like the Hoka Clifton 2. And I was like, these look amazing.
Yeah.
And so I went through a whole black shoe. Like, just make the shoe with black. That'll look good.
Right.
And now I'm like, I don't like, I get a black shoe and I don't like it. And I like the whites.
Yeah.
Megan.
Only one.
And Megan will go, any white shoe you send her, it's automatically got a notch up in her review.
That's me.
Right. But I feel like it's a trend like this is going to die out too.
I don't think it will. Other than my trail shoes, like I'll never wear all white trail shoes. That just feels.
See, the one that you're wearing comes in all white and I love it.
It does. It looks good.
And my I love my Norda 001s.
I just feel like running through mud and stuff. It just like doesn't.
No, but that's the best.
I think that's the part of it is that it. Like,
I think it just ends up looking gross. Though. That's the thing. It's like
I feel you.
I think that's why I like the color of the shoes I'm wearing right now so much, because it's outdoors. It's like camo. Like it just blends in.
Nike this year came out with their trail shoes, and they look like they've already been worn in the mud.
Those are the white ones.
The Zagamas have like
they're not white, but they're like the midsoles painted with like.
Oh yeah.
Like.
That's kind of on these too.
It looks like
it's like splattered paint or something like that. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a phase. I mean, half tights are a phase sometimes. Short shorts are a phase.
Okay, here's something I don't understand. I can wear regular tights, and I don't get chafing.
You chafe in half tights?
Half tights, I chafe.
Really? On the thighs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Higher up.
Yeah. No, that's real. That's very real. The half tight thing is like I will usually chafe there. Like I crush the Vaseline.
Well, I thought I threw out my stick of Glide, but I found it. But I tried using for cycling. There's chamois
butter.
Tried using that, didn't help at all.
Really?
No.
Yeah, my thighs are basically like calloused by mid-July.
There's one more. There's one more.
That's the Nike one.
Yeah, but there's one that has more mud on it.
Oh, I don't know. I thought that was the one.
No,
That's like that's the whole purpose behind the big dude proof stuff, though, because it gives people the opportunity to like hear my opinion on like things that don't usually fit bigger guys with huge thighs, like short shorts and half tights. And
yeah, you're not going to wear Van Cortlands, are you?
no, I don't fit in them. I don't fit in any Van Cortland, any
Even
part of the Van Cortland line.
The biggest size?
Even the biggest size is
Well,
like
no, if it's a
way
3-inch
too tight.
and he's got
I still wear 1-inch inseam
Calves.
shorts, but BOA makes them.
and they fit your calf.
Yeah,
Or not your
my
calf, your thigh.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they look short. Like you're definitely revealing your ass, but like they're comfortable. They're great when it's 105 degrees outside, and that's the only thing you want to wear.
Do you sweat a lot when you run?
Dude, I sweat so much.
Really?
It could be -10 out, and I'm still dripping sweat by the time I get
All right, so you definitely need like an Element or something.
Yeah, are
Sodium
they a
recovery.
sponsor of this show?
Not this particular one, but yeah.
They are. It is.
No,
the
I
best.
know. Yeah,
Robbie-
Element's good. I
Robbie
like
loves
Element
it.
a lot. I'm into a lot of like what was the other one that I just tried? It was oh wow, look at that. We've got all the options.
Right there.
Oh shoot. Somebody handed it to me at the Ultra and now I can't remember.
Not Liquid IV?
No, it was like a no
Scratch?
No,
Trip drop?
It wasn't any of the usual
Trying to go through all of them.
suspects. But now I
Gatorade?
can't remember. Yeah, it was Gatorade. They but it was good. It tasted really good. I like Tailwind. Tailwind's pretty good.
Yep.
It's all good stuff. I mean, it's all the same shit, right?
No.
I don't know.
That I will say, like the Element is the only one that just brings me back. It like regenerates me, like when you see a
boost.
video game like
Yeah.
life levels go
you know
up.
what?
It feels like that in real
It's
life.
like Ultraman reaching the sun.
I used to have to say I only drink BPN electrolytes, but I'm not doing that anymore. So
BPN.
Bare Performance Nutrition.
Aren't they out of Austin?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah.
I was originally supposed to run the Austin Marathon with them.
That's a interesting marathon.
Yeah, it's hilly.
Yeah.
It's the only hills in Austin. You find them on that run.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't think it's for me.
Wow.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm out of it now.
What are your plans for racing in 2024? Do you have any?
I do. Yeah, dude. So coming up in March, I have a 50K. It's trail race with 5,000 feet of vert. So
That's pretty decent.
yeah, it's going to be pretty good amount. Pretty good amount.
That's
for the day.
1,000 per 10K.
100
10K.
per.
Yeah, 1,000 per 10K, right? Yeah, about right. Yeah. So it's gonna be a lot of hiking that day. And then not confirmed yet, but I think I'm gonna be running London. I'll be at Boston, and then running Grandma's, and then in the fall Toronto waterfront and New York.
Wait, you're going to be at Grandma's?
Yeah,
Why is that?
Alexis wants to BQ there.
Ah.
And so, how does it work for? Because you have a full-time job, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So how does that work?
Unlimited PTO.
Oh.
No,
I love it.
I'm really good at utilizing my time before and after work. Like that's when most of my videos are done. All the contacts with people are done then usually. So stuff like that. And
Do you foresee a future where you would do this full-time? Is that like the goal, or is you just seeing where it goes?
It wasn't the goal. I guess it still isn't the goal, but
Yeah.
it's definitely trending that way. Especially as it becomes like more of a viable option. So like it'll probably end up happening.
Yeah.
I would say in the next year, probably.
Nice.
Don't tell my company that. But yeah. I mean, I have so much fun doing this, and I now have a manager or management group. So
Who's your manager?
Regan, from Coastline Creatives.
Oh, we didn't have to go through her to get you here. Is she
No,
gonna be
that's
upset?
that's in my heart out. I said I'm the only one who talks to Believe in the Run. I said I have a relationship, and she's great, and she totally respects that, and the whole team does. But she's Mrs. Space Cadets manager.
Oh, nice.
Run to the finish.
Yeah.
A couple others. So
Okay. Cool.
it's
awesome.
it's a cool thing. I mean, it helps.
Azar.
Erin Azar, I love her.
She's
I love her so
she's a
much.
genuinely.
She's just a
nice human.
genuinely great person.
I don't know. I think she struggles a little too much.
She thinks she's on the
Struggle
struggle.
runner.
Yeah, she struggles.
She's
Yeah.
leaning into it.
She
I mean, she
takes
does some crazy stuff, like the NFL stuff.
Dude, isn't
and
that so
stuff.
sick
That's so
though?
Crazy.
Well,
yeah.
I have a crazy one coming up soon. Like that's the cool part about having a manager now. Like they pitch you and stuff, and so I'm getting a car in January. I'm doing a video with them with this car company.
Is it Subaru?
No,
Is it
it's-
Ford?
It's gonna be pretty ironic. It's funny. It's Mini.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I love it. You know, I
Yeah.
had one of those at one point.
Did you?
I
can see
loved it.
I can see it. Yeah, so it's like funny.
I'm not sure if you're a
big dude.
Not sure if, if you're saying I can see it, if that's a compliment or not.
It goes back to your Smiths era.
Yeah, there we go.
Whoever you were listening to at the time.
I still am listening. It was funny. Like Spotify doesn't need to do a list for me every year. It's the same.
It's just the Smiths.
Yeah, Smiths were your number one, and I'm like 1% of their.
You know, it's funny because Alexis is like number 2. I come down every morning, and it's like, I was looking for a job, and then I found. And I'm like, oh my god, another morning of this.
And
Can we turn on something else?
You're like, the sun is out today. You don't have to do this.
There was one day I came home and it's like, yeah, probably the Smiths playing or something. I'm like, is everything okay? Like, do we need to talk? Like, are you feeling all right? Are you sad?
That's hilarious.
If I made Megan listen to the Smiths the way that I have to listen to Taylor Swift, like it'd probably be a problem.
That is probably the best thing about our relationship. We both don't listen to Taylor Swift, and I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, I don't hate Taylor.
I don't hate Taylor Swift by any means. I think it's just way overhyped.
I don't either. That's my
Like, why do we care so much about a human being? That's what freaks me out a little bit.
I mean, if Coldplay kept making good music,
I mean, if Jerry Garcia was still alive, I would probably be there. Like Jerry, yeah, but like Taylor Swift, I mean. It's just not me, man.
Dude, at boarding school, I had to listen to, Casey Jones and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Way touch of gray.
My parents are hippies, dude. I grew up listening to Fish and Grateful Dead like my whole
And then
life.
watching naked ladies do yoga.
Yeah, it all came full circle.
How are you not like totally high all the time?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't even smoke weed.
That's so weird.
Take edibles or anything. I don't like it. I can't control it. It's not for me. And then I found that out in college, so I just started, drinking 30 racks of Keystone Ice.
I think that's actually... same. I think that's actually the reason that I'm not very very rarely like smoke weed is because I don't like just depending on what strain it is, you go on a different path. Like I like knowing when I drink, that's what I'm doing. Like I know the final. I know I'm
drinking beer. I can drink 6 of these and still operate this.
But that is a weird thing. Like I do feel like weed must hit people differently because I have some friends that can exist on it. Like they can wake up, smoke it. You wouldn't know that they're high or whatever. And then you have another friend, he takes a little puff or something, they're off the sidewalls. I really do feel like alcohol kind of hits people similarly.
Yeah, very much so.
It's just whether or not you know when, like if you have your gauge that you're like, I have drank too much.
Yeah.
Or if I drink another one, I'm in trouble.
Right. I think that takes more experimenting.
But it's always the same path. You still go the same path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying that the weed is a choose your own adventure that you don't choose.
Yeah, because if you don't know what you're about to smoke, you might just end up like waking up the next morning and be like, wow, I fell asleep after 5 minutes. Or one of them might keep you awake, or one of them.
So we got at the running event,
there's
a company called Orca that handed out, Robbie knows, it's like some sort of dirt.
Delta 9. It's like the
is it the hemp drink?
Strain? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a drink, but it's just it's like the.
So I didn't know that there was even a Delta 9. That this is somewhat of a legalized weed.
Is that like the stuff that they sell in like those trucks in New York?
Probably.
You ever seen those, like the weed trucks in New York?
No.
They look like food trucks, but they just hand you like edibles and stuff. And I'm like, how is this legal? This is like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, how is this legal? Like,
it's probably this Delta 9
It's probably this
thing.
like synthetic like Delta 9 whatever.
I'm definitely not describing it properly, but it's processed in a way that's legal, where it's not technically like it is technically THC, but it's in a way that's legal. Somehow it falls outside the boundaries.
That feels horrible.
Maybe because like those light beers in Colorado that are 3% or whatever.
Yeah. It's
that
like
you're like, I'm feeling so wasted. Those are practically
what do they call those? The gas station beers or whatever?
Yeah.
Where you can just you can drink them in your car legally.
Yeah.
Not actually.
This Orca one, they're doing it for athletes. They're like, this one's to run on. It's got caffeine and this THC.
I've always wanted to try this. A lot of people run high.
I will tell you this. I have tried it.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I did.
There was one night, this is like probably 2 months ago. I was down here with my uncle and I took an edible the night before. And I definitely was still like a little bit high when I woke up in the morning and ran. And it wasn't better or worse. It was just like, I start having like these talks in my head. I'm like, oh, I'm definitely high right now. I definitely still feel this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one's specifically for running.
Yeah.
And you take it. And so I tried it when we were at the running event. And the weird thing about it was I do feel like I felt like an effect, but it didn't last very long. Like it was.
I would like that because I think that's one of my other issues with weed is just lasts too long. Also, I have like a horrible experience with like normal legalized weed. The first time I went out to Denver, it was in high school or college or whatever, and we had buddies here who were like, yeah, I made these brownies that are like 10, 20 milligrams. And I'm like, oh, I'm a strong way. So I'm in Denver and I get one of these brownies that's 100 milligrams. And I eat the whole thing.
Holy shit.
That was the first time.
Man. Did you see Jesus?
Dude, that was the first time that I have ever been hungover from weed. Cause I'm like,
wow, that's a lot.
Dude,
I think in these tablets is what?
10? Oh, in the Delta?
It was like 2.5 per tablet.
Yeah, I just sat there like with my hands like this and just stared at the ground, I think, for like 8 hours.
Like, did you just give up? Like, did you know, like,
you just have to give up. You're like, I am fucked. Yeah. I'm stuck like this. So, yeah. And there's no way of getting out of it.
I was right in that it's Delta 9 is derived from hemp. That's what makes it legal. So
why is that? What's the difference?
I don't know. It's just like
it's like CBD. Like that's derived from hemp too, right?
So that hemp contains very small amounts of THC. So like the Delta 9, the THC level is lower than a.
But if it's 2.5 milligrams per pill of THC, isn't it? At that point, it's just THC, right?
Like if you take enough of
right,
them,
so I think it's like
become legal.
It's like a weird gray area loophole that they get through, but it's the same kind.
That's not going to last long now that we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
It's like when I did, I was at a what do you call it, like hookah bar or whatever, and they had salvia there, and this was in the mid 2000s, and that's a crazy hallucinogenic. It's illegal now, but at the time they
did you do it?
Yeah, it was wild. It only lasted for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes, it's short lived, but it was like you see crazy stuff.
That's like the
like portals opened up.
It was like these digital like strings hanging on the room, and then I couldn't move my mouth, like I couldn't talk, and everything was like in super slow motion.
Yeah, that's like the shit kids would do in high school. They would like they called it like robo tripping. They would drink a bottle of
Robitussin.
I never was getting into that. That's
okay.
crazy.
These kids would do anything.
So that's boarding school. So at my boarding school. They had to stop letting kids because what would go on is they would let us off campus to go shopping or something.
Right.
And kids would buy like 5 bottles of Robitussin DM.
Yeah.
Chug them.
Yeah.
Puke.
And drink the whole thing.
Trip out.
And it had alcohol in it.
Yeah.
And like whatever the other drugs are that are supposed to help you. Like codeine or whatever.
It kills so many brain cells.
Oh, dude. I mean, these kids.
The
boarding school kids will snort anything you put in front of them too. The teachers think like they probably do know everything, but they don't really see all of it. Like some of these kids,
acid was rampant in.
Acid wasn't as big at ours, but I was
because you could sneak it in easy. You just throw it in a school book.
But I was like going to Fish concerts at the time, like my friends and parents and shit, and so I was surrounded by that. But like it was like a big cocaine thing.
I was such a prude in high school and stuff.
I didn't do it.
Like I didn't try, and it was around. Coke. I didn't do any of the hallucinogenics. Like the toughest thing I did in high school was probably smoke a little weed.
Yeah, I would say same.
And people think we're high all the time, but we're really not.
We're high on life, man.
Yeah.
No, it's really the endorphins from running, right?
Yeah, that's that. And we're tired. We're somewhat tired from getting up early and running. So
you're kind of just always out of it a little bit.
Like man,
there's not enough coffee in the day.
Yeah, it's like it's like what are we talking about? What shoe now?
Yeah,
I can't even remember the last time It's been probably at least 6 months.
Since what?
Since 8 months since I smoked any weed or anything like that.
No, I did actually take mushrooms not too long ago.
I accidentally took them once too.
Someone told me.
You accidentally did?
Yeah.
That's gotta be
I was on
jarring.
vacation and somebody said that they had chocolate with a little bit of edible.
Yeah.
And I was thinking.
You thought it was weed.
Yeah, I was like, what's the big deal? We're here in the islands.
Probably had some peanut butter.
This is
too.
recently?
Yeah, this from the Bahamas trip. And I'm like, we're here. And they had like a whole disc. And I was like, nah, I'm not that. I don't know how much I can tolerate. I'll take a small piece.
Mm-hmm.
Thank effing God. Because I took a tiny little sliver and then spent the whole night thinking about my life.
Did you come to any clarity?
No, but I did text my sons at like 3 a.m.
Oh, no.
Like, I love you. I'm so proud of you. I could probably go back. They have a total a psychedelic mushroom dad conversation.
Oh no!
Like, you're all I care about, and I think about you.
I do like that though. That's nice.
No, there was one time I was at a music festival. It wasn't a music festival. So Fish was supposed to have there's this thing called Curveball. It was like a 4-day fish festival up in New York at whatever the racetrack is there. And
Belmont?
No, it's Grand. No, not Grand something. It's 2 words. But we get up there, we set up our camping site, and then there had been a hurricane like 2 days later or earlier, and the water in the town was all bad, so they had to end up canceling the festival. Oh, so we were camped out for like 15 hours, and like this teacher. This is why I think teachers are so cool, because her and her husband are teachers, and they were like, "Hey, do you guys want some pizza?" And I thought it was just totally kosher pizza, like they just rolled up like a slice of pizza. And next thing you know, I'm dancing in a mud pit with a bunch of hippies. So hilarious. Yeah, that did happen. That was cool though. I mean,
yeah.
I felt safe with the teachers.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
I'll let you read it.
All right.
In your best Thomas voice, please.
Oh, you want me to read out loud?
Yeah, you can read it.
Okay. You're probably sleeping, maybe even dreaming right now. I am awake on an island in the Atlantic Ocean thinking about you. I love you, Theo. You're a fantastic human, and I am proud of who you are becoming and who you already are. Oh, man, that's really nice.
That's really touching. The part that gets me is I hope you're dreaming.
Yeah. You're probably not tripping balls right now. Hopefully.
That's amazing. I don't know how the people that like microdose all day do it. Like, you hear about.
Are you talking about who's the guy who has a podcast?
I have a couple of friends.
I have some friends that do it. Yeah,
I'm just like, I don't know.
They just take like a little bit of mushrooms all day long, and it just keeps their brain going.
But isn't that like anything? Like, I feel like the people who can, like, I'm the people who can operate on weed or whatever.
Probably the same people.
Like, those people. Yeah. Like, I think that there's some people that just adapt to those things. Like, I couldn't have, like, when we go for lunch. And say you're at a business lunch and you have a couple of cocktails or something at lunch.
Right.
I'm done for the day. It's like you're staring at your computer trying to read emails. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing. But I think there's high functioning alcoholics who can probably be like, I can have a few beers at lunch, come back, be productive.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a very blue collar thing.
That's what's always weird about like when I watch Mad Men and I know that's how it was. You just have whiskey afternoons or lunches.
I want to rewatch that show.
How did the world function on this? Like,
I'm not bad at that. My best edits have been when I was drunk.
For real?
Yeah.
I feel like
if I get home from a happy hour run or whatever, it just comes naturally. Like, I feel my brain's almost working too fast to try and get that task.
But you go back and then you're like still think it's good.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like anytime I do anything, like, I
There's
think it's great in the
art
moment,
school.
and then it's terrible.
Yeah, art school. One night I stayed up very late with some friends and tried some new things, and I started painting and did this huge painting, like massive. And I woke up the next day. I was like, "What a piece of shit!" And that night, I was like, "This is my best work. I can't believe it. I just needed this thing to free up my mind."
That's what you should do for your next shoe painting.
If I ever write anything after drinking, the same thing. It seems amazing, and then the next day I'm like, this is horrible.
See, I used to do that in college. I'd write a lot of poetry. I was a poetry minor. So I would like go to this. We had this really cool.
Can you freestyle?
No, I can't. I'm really bad at words now.
That's interesting.
I like that.
But we lived in Richmond, downtown Richmond, and it's called Shockoe Bottom, and there was this really cool speakeasy, like super quaint, not too many people there. You had to know a password to get in. So I'd go there, have a couple of old fashions, and just start writing in this notebook. And like that's where my best ideas came out.
That does sound nice.
I can totally see Robbie doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I have done that.
Yeah. And sometimes I haven't written in a while, and like you lose it. I don't know.
It is true.
If you start just talking to a camera, you lose some brain cells. And
I must have been talking to a camera for a long time because I have to write. I have like 3 shoe reviews right now. I've got to write up, and I keep procrastinating.
I think there's a difference between that and poetry, though. Like,
I used to write. I actually in college wrote a ton of poetry, and I had gotten published in a couple places. But I was like, and then I just kind of lost it, which I might get back to it at some point.
I was like, I'm different. I'm reading Ginsberg and Kerouac. I know. I'm gonna go read On the Road.
Oh yeah, dude, that was like 100% all in on those guys. Yeah.
This is all after the hippie summer with those girls.
I mean,
they ruined me.
I found recently like a published book that I like a book that I put together and just like did for a class, and I was like, I was actually it holds up pretty well. Like I was I was shocked.
See,
I thought it was going to be really bad.
You need to put it out now as the Believe in Their Own special.
That's the thing is like I go back and I'll read or look at drawings. I have some like notebooks because like I didn't write. I mostly just I sketched all the time, and I have notebooks full of sketches. And there's sometimes I'm like, wow, that's really good. And there's sometimes I'm like, what a little pompous little dick I was.
Yeah. I mean,
Would you ever give tattoos?
What?
Would you ever give tattoos?
Would I give them?
Yeah.
No.
Like I would love like something out of one of your notebooks.
I would draw something
like
for you.
No, I would want you to do it. That's the thing.
Yeah, no.
To do the tattoo,
Yeah.
like actually ink it.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
That would be a mistake.
No, I think it'd be sick. That'd be cool. Like,
I don't know
want
how to
the
do
inner
it.
thoughts of Thomas in art school
Oh,
on my
geez.
thigh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get how many tattoos do you have right now?
I don't know.
So a lot.
There's a lot. Yeah.
So it really would probably
Oh,
just
dude,
blend
it
in.
wouldn't
You don't
matter.
care.
I got a tattoo in a dorm room that says "create" right here in quotes
There
when I
you
was
go.
feeling different.
I mean,
It's the best.
the weird thing about it for me though is I can go through those old notebooks and I know what class I was in, what I was studying. But like for a lot of stuff, like in science, I would just draw. Like if we were talking about neurons and synapses and all, I would just draw all that stuff out. So it turned out to be better than.
It's interesting because I actually in class listen better if I was drawing or like I would draw a lot as well, but like I just loved drawing in the margins and I can focus on what they're saying better because otherwise I'm just drifting off.
Well, that was the problem.
In different directions.
When I got
That's a very
started and I
English
had
major thing.
when I had jobs, like I used to sit in meetings and I would just draw in the meetings and people would like the people who were doing it would like yell at me and I'm like, what? They're like, do you even know what we're talking? I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what we're talking about.
Right.
I can't sit still. Like
Same.
ADHD. It's a wild thing. I mean, I'm that bad. Like I wouldn't even listen, but then I would like hear every 17th word and I would just write that word on a piece of paper. And like I showed Alexis my notebook once and it was just like that. And she has these pristine notes that are perfect on her iPad. She like can copy and paste shit and move it
what
around.
What a weirdo.
I know. And I'm like,
that's kind of cool though. You don't think about that.
It is cool. But so I showed her to my notebook and
Wait,
she's
how
like
old is she?
24,
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How old are you?
26.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm young.
Yeah. He's
I didn't realize you were a baby.
I'm a kiddo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a healthy mustache.
I'm working on it. This is the only place I can grow facial hair. And that in my neck. It's the
You
weirdest
picked
thing.
the right one to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, dude.
That'd be funny.
I just wrote that would be hilarious.
Straight
Maybe I
beard.
should make that a thing.
Yeah.
If you look weird enough on the internet, you get views.
Oh.
So like
That's
maybe
true.
it's just about looking.
There's a dude who does photography stuff. And he's got this big afro. And I'm like, I just got to watch you.
Just because you look cool.
Well,
You
that's
look
like
interesting.
who's the dude on YouTube that does the music?
The guy who yells at people.
Narwar.
Oh yeah, Narwar. Yeah.
Dude, that guy, like, you would think, why would you watch this? But then that's his thing. He just honed into his thing and just
Well, I think that's
does it
part
right.
of it. Like I think that's why I've had some success. Like that's why I get recognized in public. I think
Why is
because
that?
I don't look like anyone else in this community. So it's like
I would say that's fair.
I felt really bad
Yeah.
in New York because this one girl who came up to me, she has a much larger account than me. I had no idea who she was, man, because it's just like she didn't like nothing about her is weird. If that even
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Like
no, that makes sense.
I'm just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I know who you are.
Yeah.
But
Start wearing a unicorn outfit.
start being weird like me and I'll get it. But yeah.
Robbie's talked about every once in a while he'll think he needs to shave his mustache. I'm like, you can't.
I think about it once a week.
You can't.
That's my Roman Empire. You know when girls are like, how often do you think about the Roman? Me, it's like, should I shave it today? Is today the day?
I don't think you can't.
I don't know if you
Like
can,
you
dude.
can't. You can't cut your hair. You
I will
can't-
look 10 years younger without the stash.
Yeah,
I know.
you can't. You can't cut the hair either.
The hair's here to stay as long as I can have it because, I have too many balding men in my family where I'm like, I'm going to let it ride while I can. Cause if I lose
Bro,
it,
you can't shave the mustache.
Oh my God,
I just
that's
looked
you?
at you without a
what
mustache.
did we just find?
Yeah, you got to keep that face.
That is me.
Dude.
And I look exactly the same. I've looked the same my whole life.
Yeah,
Like,
but the mustache.
mustache,
You
it
needed.
adds.
You needed a mouth eyebrow.
Yeah. I needed something to differentiate myself. There's also no long flowing hair there either, though. So
True, but you need the, I don't know.
I mean,
man.
you also have to say you look approachable. Like you look.
I like to be like a big teddy bear.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I asked Robbie, am I a touchy feely guy?
No, you're also a germaphobe.
Right, but you came in and I wanted to hug you, and I did. I touched you.
You know what's funny? The other day, someone came up to me at this group run and bumped into me. He goes, "Hey man, I'm sorry I bumped into you." And I'm like, "Why? You think you're moving me?" This dude's like maybe 5'7", like a $120, and he's like, "Yeah, like what do you weigh? Like 210?" I was like, "Me? You think I'm skinny?" So when you did that, it reminded me of that moment.
Okay.
But no, it's funny because in high school there was like this big community meeting and everything that we did, and we did people that looked like celebrities, and they put up like the orange monster from Monsters Inc. up there. And it was,
No.
And they compared it to me.
I found you exactly, and I sent it to Robbie. I was watching Friends.
Yeah.
And there's like the maintenance guy for the apartment building.
Oh no, it was King and Queen, or was
No,
it
it was Friends. Can you pull it? Google it real
Friends?
quick. He's got to see this. And I sent it to Robbie and Jarrett, and I said, "Oh my God, there he is."
Why didn't you send it to me?
Because I didn't know if you had a sense of humor.
It does. that is me to a T.
Yeah.
That's so
Wait.
good.
I mean,
Look like that one. Because I was watching the show.
it's pretty.
That is pretty accurate.
And
He's a little bit more
he's-
Italian than
he's,
me.
He's older and bigger, but
Yeah,
the-
but I
yeah.
I was like,
definitely
No, but like when I'm puffy after 10 beers at the bar, that's exactly what I look
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
but
Real
like you
swollen.
never know. Like I didn't think it would be offensive. The dude just looks like. But you never know. You send something to someone and be like,
I know.
What the
People
f-
get offended
yeah.
by everything.
What
these
the- what the
days,
hell?
though. I laugh at everything.
he thinks I look like
Yeah.
that guy.
You have to be so self-aware to do what we do. Like you have to understand, like some people hate my voice.
Yeah.
You're going to hate your voice. You're going to hate the way you look at a certain angle. You're going to hate this. You're going to hate that. That's why it's like when I post pictures and stuff with other people and I make sure to like ask them because like I don't give a shit. I could look like a fat
Oh,
schlub
see,
with,
if I look
a
good,
triple neck.
they look good.
yeah, exactly.
That's
you help
you can post
bring
it.
them up.
No, I'm just saying. Like for me, that's all I need.
So no, actually, I there is this one picture. It's just such a good picture, and it's Alexis and I at the 2022 New York City Marathon. I want to use it all the time because it's like a good transformational photo for me. She hates the way she looks. She looks gorgeous.
Right.
She is
Oh,
beautiful.
right.
And I want to post this. Like I'm like, look at how far I came from year to year.
She's like, don't.
She's like, don't. Don't do it.
See, and that's weird. I have a similar person in my life that can be like that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't understand. Like,
I'm like, you
I am
are-
a troll next to you.
Right. Like this is the picture where people are like, why are you with him? Like, let me post it. This is good for you. But it's all good.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great picture. I thought it was a good transformational photo because I'm just sitting. I weighed 300 pounds at the time. Like I was very big. I didn't realize how big I was.
How much do you weigh now?
260.
Yeah, that's a
Still
big
hefty.
difference.
Yeah. I gained some weight though. Like during the end of my training block.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got down to like 245, I think.
Is weight loss a goal?
No.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah, that's so. If I focused on weight loss, I'd get like you guys would hate my content, and
Right.
I would also.
Well, no, it's
like,
not that.
become
It's like
miserable.
I think that the like your ease with eating and shirt off and all that stuff plays into, I think, some of the likability of, I think, because we're all self-conscious. Even people that are real thin are probably still self-conscious about something. Like you said, you know, there's something they're going to hone in on that. And it's not that, I don't feel like you're saying I am so cool that I'm not self-conscious. I think you're like, yeah, I'm self-conscious, but I'm doing it anyway because it feels better to be this way than it would be to not.
That's exactly what it is. Like, do you think I want to run outside shirtless? Like, and
It does
feel
feel good.
insecure about that, but
Do
it
you
feels
still,
so
though?
much better.
Okay. First time you ran in tights,
I felt fine in those.
did you wear shorts or?
No.
Okay,
Well,
I
so
definitely
here's the
wore
thing.
shorts over the first time.
I think that's kind of a tough question though, because like we wore tights, like basically half tights under our shorts at baseball for
Okay.
like many years. But I think so much of that, and like this is probably like controversial, but you have the locker room dynamic with the guys where it's like you shower together, you wear tights together, you know, you're just very vulnerable. So it's like when you go out to then run, it's like, well, I was already in these vulnerable spots.
Yeah.
Like tights for me, it's like I
Dude, the
don't
first
care.
time I wore a pair of running tights without shorts, because I remember all the people that I looked up to,
Yeah.
they didn't wear shorts over their tights.
Right.
I'm like, that's a real runner. And this is me as a beginner. I'm like,
Yeah.
real runners don't wear shorts over their tights. And I looked around at who was wearing shorts over the tights, and I felt it was the people that were insecure.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to do it. And I remember showing up to my first group run in a pair of tights, and I might as well have been walking in naked.
Yeah.
Like I felt like, oh my God, like everybody's staring. I am totally exposed. This is so uncomfortable.
Little did you know, nobody gave a shit.
No,
not a single person there gave a single shit.
It's funny because I would never even, that would never cross my mind if someone showed up in tights to even, like
no,
you're saying,
to
like,
even
it's so
comment
funny.
or
But
look or
I felt the
think
same
about
way.
it.
Yeah.
I think we all do. Well, we all have insecurities. Like there's no better message to get though than someone being like, "Hey, dude, I ripped the shirt off today. Thanks, like, for the encouragement." Like that's so cool. I'm glad that I can help more big dudes get out there and
It just
gals.
feels so good.
It feels so good. Like you start running and you get that
Air.
like, wind. Your nipples get a little hard because of it. Like, it feels great.
And you're not in a soaking wet,
Right.
heavy shirt at the end. Like that is the one thing. Like I even I know women that don't want to run a sports bra because they don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so nice to feel air against your skin when you're running.
Yeah.
And it's just a totally different experience.
And the thing is, there's people in the comments that are like, well, they make the shirts so that like the sweat hydrates you or keeps you cool. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
That thing weighs
That's good marketing,
8
though.
pounds by the end of this run because I sweat so much.
Yeah.
Like,
There is one, like Under Armour makes a shirt that has cooling fibers in it.
Right. It doesn't
And
work.
no, I actually do think this one works.
Really?
The latest one. There's ones in the past that I didn't think worked. This latest one, I was like, I was running and I was sweating a little bit and I got like a little chill. And I was like,
My issue with those though is that like they smell weird. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
They have a weird stench to them. And then when you're on like a long run, that's all you're smelling. 'Cause It's all you can think about.
dude, I just had to soak shirts in vinegar. Like,
Ooh,
Did that work?
Vinegar?
I think it did work. So this is amazing to me that Robbie can wear it without washing it. But my Tracksmith,
Brighton base layer.
yeah, Brighton base layer, like it's like heat activated at this point.
yeah.
It smells fine. I put it on, and within 5 minutes of me wearing it, all of a sudden it's got this like wrenchy odor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, crap, because I'll forget.
Uh-huh.
And so it had been in my basket, and it got cool the other day. I threw it on. I'm going out, and a mile in, I'm like, this smells like someone just took 2 dog shits
Yep.
in my
And
armpit.
when you come home, do you hang it up though to dry? Like
No, I throw it in a laundry basket.
after a run? Oh, I always hang up all my clothes.
That might help, but I still don't think it would help with mine.
It,
So-
it
No, but
doesn't
I
help.
think that
hang mine.
keeps it from creating the
Okay.
original
Well,
scent.
now what I did is I looked up online how to get the funk out, and they're like 1 part vinegar, 3 parts water.
Yeah.
Now other people are telling me throw some borax in there, throw some this and that, But
Borax, that's like a Dr. Seuss book, isn't
Yeah.
it?
No, it's the Lorax.
Oh, okay.
similar guy.
I have the Brighton base layer. Mine stinks.
Okay, you got to try this because I think it may
Did it
have
work?
worked. I have to go for a run in it, but when I pulled it out, I was like, doesn't.
I will say that
doesn't
the
smell.
market that Tracksmith won over, not with the Brighton base layer, but like this, the waffle shirt or whatever, is
Lumberjacks.
yeah, no, me for undershirts.
Okay.
Like I just wear them under normal size t-shirts and they're great.
I'm pretty sure I wear it more as like
I'm
what
not
you're
su-
talking about than I do running.
But if I wear it just if I wear it just as the waffle shirt, I look like a kid who just got pajamas for the first time. And it's like super tight.
You see this? It's got kind of like a puffy shoulder.
I can't tell though.
It
That's
does
just
have weird shoulders. No, mine
Right?
does too.
Does
Yeah.
it?
And
Does it?
I washed mine, and I think it still has
This is
weird
definitely
shoulders.
from the fold though.
Dude,
No, mine has weird shoulders. Like they point out. It's
Yeah.
like they almost look
Yeah,
like a
same with mine.
marching band uniform.
or like women's like,
Or, like,
puffy shirts.
Yeah, like shoulder pads.
Yeah. And Robbie, it hasn't died down.
Well,
like
I
washed mine.
just pulled it out of the packaging.
I know. I'm saying
Flex on us.
Oh, you're
Robbie.
saying yours hasn't died?
Well, I
down?
tried to pull it out of the packaging and go for a run, and I
Yeah.
looked in the mirror before I left the house.
did too.
And
I
was
did
like,
the same exact
turn
thing.
around, took it off, threw it in the laundry. I said, "This one needs a wash before it goes out."
Yeah,
So I washed it and I pulled it out, and it's
still there.
still
I will
pointing.
say it is crazy comfortable though.
It is incredibly comfortable, but I did the same thing. So they sent me the waffle shirt and then also the half tights with the little leg thing, and like the combo
What's the
of them.
little
looked-
leg thing?
It like has like the stripe or something.
Okay.
on it. So like it looked cool. Like I saw other people in Boston wearing it. I was
like the Reggie half tight or
yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I pulled it out. I put on the waffle shirt. I'm like, this looks so much better on someone else.
There's some. I will say there is some running gear, and we just got the Soar jacket, and you know how Soar's normally really tight. Like Soar, we don't even think about getting in our normal size. It's like usually it's 1 size to 2 sizes up.
Right.
It's European sizing.
But the new jacket, it's kind of big.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the European stuff's tight. Like Say Sky's super tight.
Say Sky fits me just right.
Or just right. Yeah, it's like a little. It depends on what you get.
Yeah.
Like there's some Say Sky stuff that fits me really nice. Like they're tights and half tights. Like I can't recommend them to people for the price point, but like
Wait, you think Say Sky's expensive?
it is, right?
Not like Satisfy and Tracksmith.
I mean,
I
is
think
it
it's-
more? Is it? I thought it was more than Tracksmith.
Not more.
I haven't actually looked at the prices really. I'm not gonna lie, but I just remember seeing expensive stuff on their site. I haven't tried Satisfy yet either though, so I couldn't compare it.
It's
all
just
the
like
same.
so expensive. I mean,
It's really nice
The
quality, but-
quality
Is
is
it?
great, but
Yeah,
it's
it
just
is.
like it's a luxury.
It's not even priced at a like, oh, that's high price. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. That's like that's my issue too, because I sweat too much in it. I'm like, I'm just ruining this. I am just like completely crushing this. But no, I'm trying to help Tracksmith get back hyped up. I want their stuff to fit. I want to help them evert their controversy.
I think that's over.
I think
Look,
it is, but
and
some of
honestly,
I love.
I think they should have doubled down.
I said that too, dude.
Yeah, screw it.
I said I wish Tracksmith would come out here and say, "Fuck you, fat people and slow runners. We are going to own the fast people market." Dude, I said the same exact thing the day.
Look,
why apologize?
They also started.
I mean,
as competitive. It's not like they started in everybody run. They started. This is for people that are trying to do a certain thing.
Right. And I will say I don't support them. I don't wish they would have doubled down on like the misogynistic race director guy. Don't double down on that. But double down on being the elite brand. Like we are the elites of the elites. That's fine. Like I showed up to their shakeout run and the dude ran a 24-minute 5K there that was leading. And I'm like, fine, it was Tracksmith. I was expecting that. So it's like, dude, do that. Like go.
I mean,
But like the 10K, what's it? Oh, I'm gonna say 10K. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I was gonna say that's what separates. Like, that's your brand. Just stay in your lane and stick to
Exactly.
it. And
Right.
it's okay. And I hate this thing where it's like everything has to be for everyone. I'm just like this.
Well,
is,
that there is that. That's Run Happy. It's Brooks,
Right.
Or it's
But
the
I
difference.
think
Which I'm about. I like that. I think
Right.
that there are, but if that's your thing, stick to it. If it's not your thing,
yeah.
don't jump into that lane.
It's so and it exactly
Because you're gonna get run over.
if you don't like Tracksmith's messaging and wants more elitist and it's just not for you, it's just move on. I don't
Look,
understand why you have to be, everyone has to be
There's
mad about
Dunkin'
everything.
Donuts. There's Starbucks. There's Southwest. There's Virgin Airlines.
Delta.
Yeah, you're gonna like if you want the most luxurious flight, you're not going on Southwest.
And this is
You're not flying Frontier.
Yeah,
I'm coming from someone who, when I look at Tracksmith ads, I don't feel like I'm the same way. Like I don't feel like I'm one of those people. I just like, but if I like their gear, I like their gear. And if they want to be,
but I do like the ethos of like what they're talking about in running is somewhat of what appeals to me in running. I like the idea of myself pushing
right.
out of my comfort zone, me trying different things, maybe going a little bit harder and caring about my results or something like that. That to me in some points matters.
And the pursuit, like they set, this is what drives me crazy is because I think there should be things that are limited for high achieving people. Like if you achieve this time, that is a crazy thing. No, not everyone's going to get that. But if you achieve that time and this thing is set aside for you, I think that's cool. I'm never going to get to that point probably, or maybe if I do, it's going to be a long time from now. But like, and I don't care. That's fine. If I get the Boston qualifier, I think that should be reserved for those people that run the Boston Marathon. That's okay. I think it's okay.
And I do, but I also do think that there's, like, I do feel like when I'm going back to when I was growing up. When I was growing up, all the teams didn't get a trophy.
Yeah, we're doing the everybody gets a trophy.
I don't want to go back to that, but
it's not the everybody argument,
it's
but it
true.
is like there was a difference. Like I think that there was a difference of what you were expected. Like I also feel like in jobs we've had people work with us. There's certain people that come into the job and day one they think they have the right to have full access to everything and their opinion should matter as much as everybody else.
Well, it's like brand payments too. Like let's say a brand comes to you and they're like, hey, we're going to pay you for this video. but then you're getting paid in 30 days after the post goes live or whatever, and then they don't pay you for 90 days. Why? Because they think they're the shit on day one, even though like you deserve the same thing though. Like,
I don't know where you're going with that.
I was trying to say that like there are times where it's that was a really bad analogy. I was trying to say that like there are times where it's like you should come in day one and feel like you own the spot. Like day one of that, you should be like, I need to get paid on day 30. Doesn't matter how big your brand
I see where
is.
you're flipping it.
Sorry,
okay.
yeah, I really did a shit job.
The difference is I'm saying I understand. Like for me, I understood that. Like my first couple jobs, I kept my mouth shut.
Yeah.
And did what they told me to do.
Yeah, we're getting rid of that.
I didn't get an opinion. I didn't think that anybody wanted to hear my opinion at that time. And I worked my way up to the point where my work proved that maybe it was worth somebody paying attention to what I was saying.
And like that was in that space, so like in terms of brands and running, it's like there's the space for that, shut up and work harder and, maybe you can earn your tracksmith, but then it's like you're getting into this. All right, let's go hang out with our New Balances.
But that's the thing. There is something for everybody. You don't.
Yeah.
But I guess in the tracksmith case, I felt like I don't. Yes, maybe the quote from the race
from Jock Simple.
Was not the best messenger. But the backlash wasn't necessarily about him. I felt like the backlash was people that felt like their running was diminished by somebody giving an exclusive thing.
I mean, I feel like people have had a target on Tracksmith's back forever, and they just found an opportunity.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity. Yeah. They laid it up for them. I can't wait for the review of this podcast to come out. Hermanson says he fucking thinks Tracksmith should have said "fuck you" to everyone.
Yeah, I love that. Well, yeah, make sure you cut that out for real.
The biggest pullout for me is the naked yoga because I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
So when you were telling that story, I'm like, okay.
Maybe we need to do that for Summer Grit. Have a naked yoga sesh.
Actually, there is a 5K. I forget where it is, but our buddy Gavin's done it. It's completely naked.
Yeah.
Talk about like that.
I think it was at a nudist.
I mean, it's probably on
colony.
They do it on a nudist colony, but it's still you don't have to be part of the colony.
That dude, he's Eric Anders Lang. He's a golf guy, does content in golf. He did a naked round of golf on a nudist colony thing. It was hilarious.
See, I'm not doing that unless I know what the temperature is going to be that day. And there's a lot of different factors.
A lot of variabilities that go into it, and they all have to be checked. Nothing can go unchecked before that.
Make sure
I don't care how fast I run it.
Make sure you're aiming at the right flag stick on that one.
Yeah, right.
When you're driving.
No, that sounds horrible though.
Oh,
that's too much.
I don't know if I could do golf.
Uncontrolled. No, golf. I think golf would be better than running.
Actually,
running. I'm like, this would hurt.
Golf is so long though. Imagine
getting
sunburned. You know how bad you get sunburned when you golf.
That's true.
Yeah, but everything. I feel like everything pulls in closer to your body when you're running. Like
no. I don't think
if it's very cold
in Florida.
Out. Maybe very cold.
Yeah, maybe if you're in the dead of winter in Canada.
Yeah.
No, I think golfing. I would go golfing between the two. I miss golfing. I was thinking about
when you were golfing, you're out there for a couple hours.
We need to go on a golf outing.
Well, when you were interviewing, I think was it you who was interviewing Tommy about golfing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna start going around to all the running people, and we're gonna go golf instead of running.
Oh, that would be
I can coach everyone. I'm like one step away from being a golfer.
Bring back the golf meeting.
That thing would be exciting. Like I think we do a scramble.
Yeah.
We pick like teams from the running community that we're friendly with.
Yeah.
And we film a day out.
That would be epic.
Yeah.
We got Mac from A6.
No, Mac can't because he's actually
really
a golfer. Like I want we get like Kafuzi, Tommy, Ben. Ben's probably good at golf.
I think Ben is good at golf. I feel like I heard this somewhere.
Yeah,
I think he might have told me himself.
He might be really good at golf.
Yeah,
I
could see it.
All right, we might have to bring Mac back in.
Yeah. Me and Matt can be captains because I play off scratch.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All right. Robbie, you and I can be cart girls.
Yeah, we can do this over at Caves Valley. We'll kick the president off the course.
I like that.
Let's do it.
That'd
be rad.
Yeah, that's a cool course.
Congressional. We'll go to Congressional.
We'll go play Augusta.
All right.
I think we can.
Pinehurst.
Pinehurst is actually doable. I have a buddy who lives on Pinehurst, and we could very much set that up.
Okay.
If any brands want to set this up, who in the?
What we could do is you have to run to the
Right.
holes too, so it's a time thing.
No, that's a horrible
I'm
idea.
not doing
that
it.
takes all the fun out of it. Which running shoe brand? New Balance has
Golf shoes?
Golf
Nike.
shoes. Nike. Does Brooks have golf shoes?
No,
Oh, I thought you said Brooks.
I think Brooks is.
We could get one of these companies, like New Balance.
Or
New
Under
Balance would do
Armour.
it.
Under
or,
Armour?
or we could just fund it ourselves, and you can wear whatever you want.
No, that's boring.
Doesn't
It's-
Under Armour have Rory McIlroy as a
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they
no,
do.
Under
or Jordan?
Armour has, Jordan Spieth.
Jordan
Yeah.
Spieth
Yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't we get Under Armour to sponsor Baltimore homegrown
with Jordan Spieth.
At Caves.
with Jordan Spieth at Caves Valley?
I love this. Let's do it. Let's pitch
Yeah.
it. All right.
See, this is, by the way, anyone who listening, this is how stuff happens in the influencer world. It's just this kind of
It's just-
discussions, and then you're like, well,
The
let's
round
do this.
table.
and next thing you know, welcome to the international meeting of.
I know. I just pitched a brand, me being in a van for 6 months. So
It seems to be one that goes around.
Yeah.
Um,
I made the same pitch to A6,
Yeah.
and they dialed it back to not quite 6 months.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. Well, I've got to pee now because
Yeah,
we've been sitting
same.
here for a while.
This has been probably the longest
Yeah.
one we've ever done.
I have a tendency to do that. I went on someone else. I've on 2 other podcasts where I end up being. the
Don't talk
longest
about
guest.
other people when you're with us.
I'm not. Don't worry. This is the
Right.
longest one.
It helps.
My
that
favorite one.
If it's in person, it helps.
Yeah, it goes a lot quicker.
Plus, no technical difficulties.
I don't even know if we talked
Hopefully.
about running at all. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, we did. A
Yeah, we
little.
talked about running
Yeah.
here and there.
We went over the splits. We all have splits.
This is fun though because like there's podcast. I've gone on a handful now, and like a bunch of them are just the same question over and over again. Like,
Yeah.
What is
yeah,
the question? Did we not ask it?
No, you did, but
Okay.
it's just like
How'd
it's
you
just
get
like how
started?
did you get started? What shoes are you? You didn't ask me what shoes I'm running in right now.
I wasn't gonna
Um,
ask how you got started, but it's just for people who
No,
have never
that's-
listened.
That's
to
important.
you.
And then like what's your favorite brands? Who do you like working with? Stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
what makes it fun to like? How did you get into influencing? Like you just use your phone. Basically,
Right.
the stuff we still covered, but in a different way.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, dope, sweet.
So you don't even have to listen to this podcast. Just go pick up one of the other podcasts. Herm.
Whoa. If you made it this far, you done
Yeah,
listening
yeah,
to the
I
whole
know.
thing.
All right, you won a
Joke's on
prize.
you.
All right, let's wrap it up. And I guess we're gonna see you at the party. You're gonna be at the summer or winter grit party.
Yeah, the
All right, cool.
27th.
Do you like beer?
I do like beer. It's
gonna be good
pretty
beer.
Good.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
It's gonna be good times. All right. Peace.
Thanks, dude.